YouTube, LJ Draco here, yes, and today, as you can tell by the title and by the thumbnail, this is a first time watch for me. Watched this last night, due to recently being diagnosed with diabetes, and due to apparently, for some reason there was a lot of heat last night in the house. I ended up passing out towards the last half an hour, so I had to kind of re-watch the ending really early this morning. Yeah, let's just get into it. So this is about 2001 Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick. Now, just a quick little bit of information I want to get out there. I know that there's a lot of people in this community, and a lot of them are my friends, people I speak to, people I trust. You know, and there's a lot of people who know me really well, and there's some people who think they might know me but don't know me as much as they think. It's fine. Yeah, and I just want to make this quite clear. Yes, I was born in the 90s. Yes, I grew up with certain movies, like animated movies and Disney movies and like the Marvel movies. And yeah, I do like a fair share of really bad movies. Now, the one thing I won't accept is being talked to or treated as if movies like this are either not going to be to my liking, because other people think they won't be, or that I'm not going to have much knowledge on it, or that I might need to do some re-watches, or that I might need to do some research or stuff like that. And it's just kind of, it's making me kind of feel a little bit sad and a little bit angry and upset. My lights are dying, so they're going to have to go off, so sorry about that. But yeah, I feel really, really let down, because it's like people are assuming, or people are thinking, that because I'm a younger age than most people that I talk to, or because of specific taste in movies that I have, that I wouldn't enjoy classics like this, or like Goodfellas, or Godfathers, or any other classics out there. I mean, there's a whole bunch of Stanley Kubrick movies that I have never seen. It's not because I don't like Kubrick, I've never watched them. They were never on when I was around. I never had the need to feel like I should watch them. But like stuff, Jurassic Park and other classic movies that I've grown up, like Back to the Future, Star Wars, if it comes on or I come across it and I can afford it, I will watch it and I'll try. So I just kind of, I felt really upset, because it's like people are thinking, because of my age and because of my specific taste, which I don't have a specific taste in movies. I like all kinds of movies. I do enjoy black and white movies. I enjoy silent movies. I enjoy all kinds of movies. Because I don't seem to watch movies that people consider classics to them, or in a smaller community, it's like treating me with kid gloves, and I really can't stand that. If you're going to be a part of a community and you're going to talk and share information, it's about respecting other people's watch lists. I mean, to me, a lot of recent Disney movies, or a lot of children animated movies, like Robots, for example, which I watched recently, stuff like that, I consider classics to me because they're movies that I will never forget, interesting stories. I don't turn around and say people aren't, oh, you're too old to know what the, or oh yeah, you need to do research because like it's a kids movie, you're not going to understand it because you're an adult and all. It's really hurtful for when people do that, because it's like they're trying to say you're stupid, or that you need special attention for it. I don't like that. So I appreciate anyone who may not be intentionally doing it, or they do it to other people as well. I mean, just remember something. I may have been born in the 90s. I may not be as old as you, but don't for 1 second ever think that I'm dumber or a lot more stupid because of the age. And especially when it comes to people with education, I've known people that's never had an education that are a million times smarter than I am. So education don't mean crap to your intelligence. So I just want people to stop trying to act like they know me down to a T when they don't. If you want to get to know me, that's great, but if you don't know me that well, don't assume that you might know. Just respect me like I would respect anyone else. That's all I ask. I do apologise for that little rant. It's just something that's been bugging me these past few days. and it's just there's no one in specific. There's no one specifically I'm targeting in case, because I know there are certain people who's going to be thinking now like, oh, I've said some things similar, or oh, I might have said something. It's no one in specific. It's no one specifically who said something that's pissed me off. It's just in general. There's been a bunch of comments, and it's not just been now. It's been over the years of doing YouTube. And I'm just saying, enough's enough. If unless you know what you're gonna say is not gonna upset somebody, don't say it. You know, just for the record. Right, let's get to the whole point of the video. So, 2001: Space Odyssey. Let's just start with the transfer on Blu-ray is beautiful. It's stunning. It's clear. The audio is nice. That's just the Blu-ray side. So, this is the bit that I know that a lot of people have been wondering about, because I've been doing a lot of first-time watches recently, and everyone's a bit curious about my opinions. I think this movie is 100% freaking perfect. People are going to probably say, oh, well, I don't agree. That's fine. You don't have to. People are going to say, oh, I know there's some flaws. You may have seen them. I haven't. I think the colour palettes and schemes are brilliant. I think that the scenery sets are absolutely phenomenal. I even think the score and the soundtrack to this movie is so beautifully well attached that it doesn't feel like it's overtaking the story. And the other thing that I really love about this movie is how it's not completely dialogue driven. There are like just major scenes that just involve audio, like music and like sound effects, but no talking. And I really enjoy it with this movie. I think that kind of a soundtrack, it really emphasizes space in a way, like. But well, if you know what I mean by that, I think that the score was very well attached to the movie. I didn't feel like it was overwhelming at any time. And the audio that was used, the dialogue that was used throughout the movie, it was quite minimal but really effective. Like, we understood the story, we understood about the monolith and stuff. But let me just get to my favourite part of this movie, which is the beginning. I think that the prosthetics of the gorilla outfits and the faces and the movements, for a 1968 movie, it was so well done. It looked not, I wouldn't say like 100% realistic, because you could tell there were people in suits, but I really, really loved the facial movement of the gorillas. I think that looked 100% real to me, the facial movements. The actors took on the persona of gorilla movement very well. And I kind of really loved the story about the monolith. I like the fact that when the gorillas like huddled around it, how they started kind of evolving. You know, they started to learn that bones could cause a lot of damage. They started eating meat. They started becoming a lot more aggressive and dangerous, just like the human species was. And it was kind of like this monolith was helping them to evolve quicker. I really appreciated that. That was an incredible beginning, especially when you hear the nice soundtrack behind and the gorilla's just smashing the bones, and it's just like, yeah, you can see he's learning that this is a weapon now. This isn't just a dead animal. This is a weapon now. You can use it to hurt someone, and seeing the intelligence go through was beautiful. But the nice, like the Rocky Mountains, well, not the Rocky Mountains, but like rock mountains, and the nice sand, the color palette of the sky. The way shadows were used to to determine like where the sun was, it was just really beautiful and stunning. Me and Alice was sitting here last night and we were like, "Wow, there's no way this is still made in the 60s." And although this is like a very common comment about it, like, "Oh, it looks like it was made quite modernly." Yeah, it does. But the thing is, you don't expect it. You hear it, but you don't think it. I mean, all the space scenes were beautiful. The ship designs are amazing. The story about Clavius and about the outbreak. They don't want it to hit any other kind of base. You know, when they find the monolith, like that was like it had the excavation around it due to it was take like a big radiation signature. But yeah, there was only that one small item that wasn't like a big. Then it kind of skips ahead 18 months to a Jupiter mission where you meet HAL 9000, which I think is a very sadistic voiced computer who makes you really question your safety around machines that can talk. Just and to be honest, okay. I'm gonna be honest. I did not. Okay. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it. So skip just to another video at this point. Yeah, I like the fact that I think I can't remember the guy's name. I think he's playing a character called David. I think it's David. How when he's trying to get to the monolith in the little mini craft, you see all these weird colors, and it's kind of like a time vortex. It's like the monolith is taking him through time, through space, and you get like 5-6 minutes of these multiple colors, these close-up shots of his eyes changing, like all the different color palettes, and then you start seeing the kind of like infrared mountains of where the apes were and stuff, and he ends up in this spaceship kind of house, and he sees himself, and then quickly that version disappears, and it's him at an older age. Then he sees another version of himself older, and then he sees himself, and then that disappears. And then I like how it's kind of like for him, he's been there for years, but we're seeing it flash. And it's kind of like the monolith is evolving him into something better than just human. You know, gorillas were, well, in the movie, gorillas were being evolved into humans, and then this human is being evolved into something special, which is where we see the space child, which is, you know, he died a human at an old age, but was reborn into a kind of higher being. So I didn't get the space child thing. I got the time thing. I got him old age, time travel, kind of through the vortex. I understood that part, and I thought it was incredible. I thought it was really, really interesting the way they did it. But I really didn't understand the space child until I did look it up, and I found out it's because, you know, it's the alien races has decided to take him that one step further into a more superior being. And I was like, yeah, that makes tons more sense than what I could have thought. And it kind of shows a circle of life presence. You know, he was a young man, he got older, he died, and, you know, now he's a baby again. But I like the fact that the monolith is what's kind of turning people into these, well, what's helping evolve humanity. And I think that's freaking incredible. So, yeah. So, for anyone who thought I wouldn't like this film, you're 100% wrong. I freaking love it. It's definitely in my top 100. For anyone who thought I wouldn't understand it, I understood everything about the movie apart from the space child, which I had to do a tiny bit of research for. But I understood 99% of the movie, which I absolutely loved. I also understood the style, the tone, the score, the soundtrack, the effects, props on the acting as well, because there wasn't that much of it, but from what we did get, it was all believable. It was like watching a real-life documentary on this happening more than just watching a movie, which is another thing that I loved. I think that this is a fantastic movie. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I do think it's also rewatchable. The soundtrack and the score to this is also one of those things that you can just listen to on your headphones when you're doing like a workout or something. It's not like upbeat, catchy, kind of like rocky, you know, but it's such a relaxing tune that if you were to, like during meditation, if you was to put half of the soundtrack of this on, you'd feel so relaxed. Throughout this movie, we just felt so calm. We were just like, ooh. This is technically speaking the first proper Stanley Kubrick movie I've watched. And I was told to not watch this one first because I might not get it, I might not understand. No, that's not true at all. But I can kind of understand why people would think it, because it is such an intelligent movie. But I got Inception straight away. I got Sucker Punch. I got Shutter Island. I'm not stupid. I do have some intelligence. Give me a chance to prove it when I do a review. But no, this is definitely one of the best, well, I'd say space exploration movies to exist. I mean, it is still technically space exploration. They were doing a Jupiter mission. And best, I'd say at least in the top 10 favourite movies involving space, I would say this is technically, if I was to list my top 5 favourite space-related movies, to me, it would go Star Wars, this, then Avatar, and I absolutely love Avatar. So for this to overtake that, that's a really big step. Well, I say space movies. Avatar really isn't. You get a couple of minutes in space, and then, ooh, okay, right. Let's change that then, shall we? It'd go Star Wars, this, then it would go. Crap! I had a space movie in my head just then, and I can't. Say Gravity. I love Gravity as well. Gravity is in my top 10 favourite space movies. So there you go. So, yeah. This is definitely a must own, a must watch, and I really loved it. And to get this for £2, which last week, no lie, last week, this was in the same cash converters for £5. I went in 2 days ago, and the £5 sticker was removed, and it was reduced to £2. The minute I saw it was £2, I grabbed it. Why? Because I wanted to watch it. I wanted to see what the fuss was about. Why it's known as a classic, and I can 100% see why. I know someone's going to probably comment and say that there's a better transfer, there's a better version, that it's either cut or whatever. I don't care. I mean, you don't have to always have the better version of a movie to still enjoy a movie. You don't always have to have the uncut, unrated, extend. You don't always have to. You can still just enjoy whatever that's offered in the way it's offered at the time. If there ever is a release that's like that, then yeah, I'd like to see a bit more of this movie to see what was taken out of it. But as of what I've seen of just this, I love it. I think it's fantastic. And it's definitely in my top 100 favourite movies of all time, which is, I've never done a top 100 movies. I never will. No, not a chance. But, yeah, I love this. I think this is fantastic. Visually, storytelling, and musically. Just absolutely beautiful. I give this movie a 5 out of 5 because it had everything about a movie that I enjoy. And I can definitely see this being a rewatch. I can also see this being a movie that I show my nieces and nephews whenever they come around for movie nights or whenever I visit them. I can actually see my nephews really enjoying this. I know for a fact that they would actually both really enjoy this movie. So, yeah, and they're quite young. They're quite young, but I know they would. And that noise was the case falling. Oh, wow. Right, so yeah. Anyway, that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video and previous videos, don't forget to strike the like for future videos. If you're new to my channel and only seen a couple of my videos, click that subscribe button. I'd surely appreciate it. Anyway, take care, you wonderful, wonderful people. And I shall see you next time. Bye-bye!